My name is Murray Woodard, and I serve as Program Officer on the Education team at the Young Marion Kauffman Foundation. It's an honor to be able to spend a few minutes with you today to discuss why I feel it's so important to support the work of the Latinx Education Collaborative. Now, if you came here today to hear a funder pontificate on all the altruistic reasons why one should support these type of initiatives, then my sincerest apologies in advance. Because my reason for supporting this work is simple. I truly believe that representation matters. A recent PBS article stated that for some young students, portrayals of minorities in the media not only affects how others see them, but it affects how they see themselves. Seeing yourself, your experiences, and the experiences of your people in the places and positions that matter most in this world is critical to inspiring the next generation, giving them a sense of what's possible, and more importantly, a path to follow. For over 2 centuries after the first presidential elections in 1788, people of color wouldn't see themselves reflected in the highest office in the land until President Obama in 2008. And according to Robin DiAngelo, author of White Fragility, in 2017, 100% of the 10 richest Americans were white. Now, I think it's safe to say we haven't moved much on that front, if any at all. But 95% of the people who decided which music was produced, 93% of the people who decided which TV shows we saw, and 90% of the people who decided which books we read were all white. Now, if you're like me and you subscribe to the windows and mirror theory, the idea that mirrors are the things, people, and places that reflect your own culture, identity, those being the things, people, and places that offer you a view into someone else's experiences, then you quickly realize that students of color have an overabundance of windows in their lives. See, students of color have a constant barrage of glimpses into the culture of whiteness. And while these students have an overabundance in windows, they have a scarcity of mirrors. Young people in this country rarely have spaces that affirm them, help them build a sense of pride in who they are and where they come from. Unfortunately, for many of these students, school is the greatest offender. According to Black Kansas City in 2017, there were 7.7 million Black students enrolled in public schools in the United States. And data released by the Latinos for Education states that Latino students make up 25% of school children and will become a third of the US population by 2050. Yet, according to that same data set I mentioned earlier, 84% of full-time college professors and 80% of K-12 teachers are white. That means there are approximately 13 million Black and Latino students in this country who aren't likely to see themselves accurately or adequately reflected in the news or in the TV shows they watch, the books they read, and more importantly, not in the classrooms and schools they attend. And with the wealth of research connecting student success to having at least one same race teacher, coupled with research indicating that all students succeed when exposed to diverse teachers, it becomes glaringly apparent to me that the work of the Latinx Education Collaborative is essential in ensuring Kansas City is the best place for all kids to learn. Now, before I leave, I just want you to imagine a world where all students are appreciated, recognized, and respected. A world where students are affirmed regardless of their culture, their race, gender, socioeconomic status, or sexual orientation. A world where all students are achieving their best academic and life outcomes. This is the world that people like Edgar Palacios and the Latinx Education Collaborative are helping us realize, which means this is a very organization we should all support. Thank you.
Well, everyone, thank you for joining us for Evolucíon 2020. As you may know, my name is Susana Elizarraraz. I am the Chief Community Officer of the Latinx Education Collaborative. I am so grateful for everyone who has been working in the background to make today possible. I want to give a shout out to some of those people. First and foremost, thank you so much to our sponsors, the Kauffman Foundation, School Smart KC, the Black Educators Initiative at Urban Teachers, the Urban Ed Academy, and of course WGU Missouri. Without you, our event today wouldn't have been possible. Second, I would love to thank our committee members. Some of our committee members returned from Evolucíon 2019, and having to pivot into the virtual space has been very interesting, but they took it in stride and worked really hard and pulled today together. So thank you so much. Thank you again to our speakers and our breakout facilitators. I hear our content was great today. When I was, putting together the schedule and the agenda, just seeing the titles of all of the breakouts and who was involved in the content for today made me so excited. And I hope that you as participants learned a lot and were able to get a lot from our content today. We would love your feedback on all of that, but for more than anything, we'd love to thank those facilitators. Lastly, I would love to thank our band who was in our cafecito this afternoon, Trio Aslan. Thank you so much for providing that entertainment and bringing a little bit of Latinidad into Evolucíon 2020. For all of our participants and our registrants today, thank you for trusting us with your Saturday morning and for bringing your insight, your input, and your experience. We would love to hear from you about what went well today, what you would love to see in Evolucíon 2021, and what you thought. Hopefully Evolucíon 2021 will be in person again, because I would love to see all of your wonderful faces. But until then, thank you so much, and we look forward to keeping connected all year. Thanks, everyone.
Bye.